Welcome, everybody. How's everybody doing today? Another BSing episode. Big Stack in the building. What's up, man?
What's going on, guys?
We have a very, very special guest today. All the guests are special, but this one in particular, he was. A lot of people don't know this because we had a show before the show that was not video; it was only audio, way before the Stackness, and. Yeah, Cody was the very first. He was an OG. He was a L.I.O.N OG from the very first show. So he's back in town, and we're gonna be sitting with us today. What's up, Cody?
Hello. How's it going?
How you doing, buddy?
Chilling.
Yeah, man.
Cool to be here.
Good to see you, man.
Missed you.
Yeah, I miss you too, man.
Cool.
It was an abrupt ending when you left because well, there was a number of things we can't talk about, but what we can talk about was that
Wait, what can't we talk about?
well, it's just work thing. I don't talk about work things here, so it's kind of like but what we can talk about is that now you know right away. So
Well, you gave it away. We could have not acted like regular. Never mind.
yeah, I could have not said that, and then it would have worked out fine. Yeah, but I didn't. Well, it's your fault because you got me really stoned, and I can't think that on that level right now. So
Cool.
but anyway, it's great to have you, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, man.
beer.
Welcome in the building. I forgot to get another beer before we started, but oh well. I don't probably need one at this point because I'm pretty juiced. But yeah, Cody had to leave abruptly because well, all I knew is that you went to a farm or something. Something came back, and I'm like, oh well, he found his way to a farm. But you said that it wasn't that easy. It was complicated.
Well, I mean, my living situation hasn't always been that easy, and I was on the brink of having like a career low key when I was working here with you guys.
Right.
So when I lost my job, it was kind of like I got to move on to the next option.
Yeah.
So I pursued that.
You had to just obliterate your whole plans and start with a new.
I was trying to go, like collar,
Right.
Collar, clock in type of guy. That's not me though, I guess. So.
Right.
Oh well.
Oh man. Well, it doesn't look like you did too bad for yourself, though.
No, I'm doing a lot better actually, and I just don't fit in with that situation. So this is way better for me. Yeah.
Well, I hate capitalism.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna say that having a boss is great anyway.
No, it's cool. Having a boss is cool. Just I'm the boss now. So
That's right.
Boom.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. But he's his own boss, Stack. We got to appreciate that.
That's what everybody wants to be, right?
Ultimately, yeah, I guess.
Yeah, but he doesn't have to. He doesn't have to
what-
exploit cheap labor, though. That's the difference.
Tell everybody you ain't my boss.
He doesn't have to be an asshole to people.
Oh, I mean, if I don't look down on people like obviously with a job or whatever. I just think that you should be getting paid what you're worth, and I think that today, we don't get paid what we're worth.
Well, Mark's theory of surplus value, right? Where nobody actually gets paid their value based off that. They take whatever it is of the money made and they pay for the raw materials, and then half of the surplus and half of the, it's actually less than half, goes to the actual labor themselves. It's like 20, sometimes less % of it gets kicked, and they keep the rest for surplus just because they had the money to buy a company and get to extract all the raw materials, even though you worked your ass off to have that. Anyway, it's surplus. So all that extra money, yeah, that's exploitation, dude. That's fucked up. And the opposite of that is socialism, where you would get to keep that and you democratically get to vote for what you feel your surplus with your crew members that you work to, and you get to keep what you're building. So you get to decide what decisions are made, how they're made, what to do with the profits, and all that shit. And that's Marx labor theory value, and that's why they don't want nobody reading fucking Marx, because it teaches you the flaws of capitalism. So therefore, nobody gets paid what they're worth.
Yeah.
And if you break it down like that, nobody gets paid what they're worth. So I found that fucking interesting. The first time I read that, I was like, holy shit.
I didn't know it was such a technical science to it, but
Yeah.
I guess I meant to the point where you feel happy with it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
I feel you.
taking enough home to be.
Well, that's the idea, right, man? Money's just money, but when you're happy,
Yeah. Comfortable.
fucking that's everything,
Yeah,
man.
comfortable.
That's everything right there. And so whatever it takes to be happy, that's what you want to find your happy place.
Yeah.
$1 billion.
You don't need $1 billion to be happy.
No, but if you had $1 billion, then that just makes sure that you will be.
I'd bet.
You sure though? Because, dude,
If you have
like I told you, the billionaires. Remember the study where the billionaires were depressed?
And what did I say?
Yeah, I remember
You're
what
from
you
Florida?
said.
Yeah.
Born and raised here.
Yeah.
I guarantee you. I'll bet all my money he'd be fine with $1 billion.
Yeah,
He'd be happy
I
the rest
mean,
of his life.
$1 million's not enough to. You can blow that easy. You
could.
can't blow $1 billion. You just can't.
no, but I don't. I mean, it will make you happy, but when you bought all the diamonds and shit that you want to buy or whatever the fuck drives your fancy, what after that?
If you
Then
gave me $1 million, I'd be fine the rest of my life.
well, my point is, you get
Man,
into
but
technical
you're
shit
saying-
afterward. You get into the technical shit about your friends and who actually likes you for you and shit. And you don't know anymore because you've been partying with all these crazies and you don't even know who you end up with. You know, you might have an animal in the room that you bond with. You're like, man, I like this monkey. This monkey knows me. But yeah, it's just, I mean, I imagine, you know, like it's great. It's great not to have that money. But
If you give me $1 million, I'm turning that shit into $1 billion anyways.
yeah, but then you'd have something to work for. When you have $1 billion, like you literally, money and buying things is not a thing, right? So,
I don't know. I've never had it.
well,
never had
I'm
$1
just saying
billion.
if you got it at Daniel's age right now, if I got it at my age right now, $1 billion fell in my lap, dude, I don't imagine that I'd be very wanting to work. I'd probably blow it in dumb ways or something like that.
Yeah, probably.
I would start a bunch of different shit today, though. But I'm just talking about a normal person, man. And they probably killed himself. Probably take fentanyl by accident. Done.
Yeah.
Done.
But you say it wouldn't make you happy, but it would make you a lot happier
It'd make
or a lot more okay with whatever bullshit you're dealing with.
Yeah, it could be a
That
temporary.
makes you not happy.
It could be a temporary Band-Aid too.
I'd be happy because I've been broke most of my life anyway, so I've already come to grips with that.
Yeah. How much would you give away if you had $1 billion? Everybody be getting money from me, especially since I'm 41, dude. I mean, what am I gonna do? Go to the grave with it?
You got to give your mom some.
Oh yeah, my mom's living good.
I'll do what my grandmother did. I'll give you as much, however old you are. All right.
Right.
So
$1 per year.
I'll give you $40. You know.
Damn.
I give me $42.
Right.
That's rough.
$1 a year. There are those grandmas. $1 a year. Fuck it. $1 a year, $1 a year. Well, this is a BS and with show. So now that I got the regular podcast, we could like use this to just BS. But I do got shit to talk about. I mean, if you want to talk about it. But yeah, I thought you were gonna tell me the story about how you ended up where you ended up real quick.
I don't know how I sidetracked so hard, but yeah, so I lost my job, and then I immediately jumped back into the medical marijuana. I'd already worked for a dispensary,
Right.
for a company. Went back to working for them in Massachusetts, and then being there for a little bit, I was like, oh, I want to go back to the farms because I have decided that I want to jump more into actually understanding like the whole field of it, you know?
Right. Of course.
Not just like peddling it, but like understanding the genetics of buds, you know,
Dude,
all the ins and outs.
I'm fascinated by in my age now. Things like that fascinate me.
Yeah, like botany wise, like, you know, planting, actually knowing like when to pick, germany and all the extra shit.
Yeah.
I'm still not even up to speed on everything, but
There's a lot to learn.
yeah, there's a lot to learn. But anyway, so yeah, I went from Massachusetts to Connecticut, out to California in the fields for a little bit, up in Humboldt, Oregon.
Damn, you're everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere. And then I was trying to get another fight back here actually to come back to Florida.
Right, because you fight.
Yeah,
You do
martial arts
and
MMA.
stuff, right?
Yes, and then
MMA.
COVID started, so that's how long we haven't seen each other.
Yeah, dude. That's, oh my God.
We haven't seen each other since COVID.
Since COVID.
Since like 2019,
See?
or like 18.
That's
yeah.
why you knew it was a bad move leaving me because you left and COVID happened.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah, that's what happens when you separate us. That's fucked up, man. It's your fault.
Yep. Then I never got the fight because COVID started because you can't have they weren't having like meetings and gyms, contact meet.
Right. Of course, no,
whatever.
right. You're touching each other and rubbing all over each other and shit.
Yep. And then so I fell off of the fighting thing, went back to the weed thing even more. It's just trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you're living.
Yep.
Because that's the thing, dude. You're figuring it out. You got to make sure you're also living, and it seems like you're living. So that you gotta take time to stop and look around every once in a while.
I also teach martial arts now for a gym.
There you go.
Yeah, I haven't got fights in, but I've been teaching other people.
You liking that?
Shit. Yeah, it's cool. You stay in shape.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like a job.
Yeah.
You're just working out.
Right.
Boom.
And you're doing what you like to do. Mm-hmm. Like we said, it's the most important thing.
Yeah.
Man.
$1 billion.
$1 billion. A billion for trillion. Gazillion.
Did I get this done, guys?
Yeah. How about no, Scott? Okay.
That's got to be one of the best movies to watch on mushrooms.
Yeah. I never have, but it probably would be a good one, actually.
Oh, definitely, because he comes in, dun, 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 and it's just like good vibes the whole time. I don't know, it's fire.
People don't know about those microdoses, man, and how healing those are to all the science. I've been telling everybody about the science with
that?
microdoses. I did, man.
Oh,
I got a story behind it, actually.
I'm a big advocate for that too.
I was rolling a joint, right? This was in that apartment that when you left. So this wasn't long after. I started taking microdoses with it was like 0.1 to 0.3 grams of psilocybin. I capsuled them up and I took them with vitamin B niacin B3, and then a little piece of pill. It's like a half a pill, and then you take it with 15 grams of lion's mane mushroom. Lion's mane mushroom is like amazing for you. It fights dementia, fights all kinds of shit. So you stack that. It's a Paul Stamets stack. That's where I learned it from.
Paul Stamets, the mushroom guy.
The mushroom guy.
So you just to be clear for everybody, you don't actually get high on the mushrooms at all.
No, not these. These are microdoses.
When you microdose, it just like is more of a stimulant. You don't get any intoxication levels, or
right.
Your perception's not skewed at
it's
all.
Strictly for health.
You kind of just
reasons.
feel it in your body a little bit.
Correct.
It keeps you moving during the day, kind of like a coffee, I guess.
You could say that, yeah. But so I take that 3 times a week. It's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Then you're off Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then you repeat next week. 3 days in a row consecutively. Whatever 3 days you do that. Dude, it was like a month and a half to almost 2 months, and I'm rolling a joint on my couch when I got home from work, and I go, you know what? For the first time in my life, I didn't even want to smoke the joint that I just rolled. And I wasn't depressed or anything. In fact, it was the opposite. I was like, why do I even need this? I usually smoke a joint to get relaxed and happy. I was already feeling a certain way, man. I remember this too. I would get goosebumps for random songs that I would listen to anyway that I didn't get goosebumps before. And I was feeling good. And the yoga sessions would hit different. And everything was just going on. And I'm like, man, I feel freaking amazing right now.
Yeah.
So I literally set the joint down. That joint sat there for like weeks, maybe months. And until I had a party where we were just like, yeah, whatever, light it up. I didn't smoke. I stopped smoking. And I didn't miss eating either because...
It was a pretty long time, though. It was like 200 days or something, right?
Was it? I don't remember how long it was. I've stopped so many times, but...
that time it was a very long time.
Yeah, because that's right, because you were impressed. You're like, hey, man, you really not smoking this whole time?
I was like, really?
Yeah, because I just dropped it because I smoked like a chimney, and then I just stopped like I can. And no bullshit, dude. The reason I didn't, because usually I can't eat for 2 weeks. Like, my stomach would be fucked up because I'm depressed because I'm not smoking when I want to smoke. That urge never hit me. And the only thing I could attribute it to are those microdoses and how that happened. So I continued for like another 3 or 4 months. And then all of a sudden, I stopped doing it. I didn't know why, but I just did. Just to see what happened. I was still good because, like he said, I went a long time without smoking.
I want to try that stack then.
Dude, I
microdose, but I didn't do the other stuff you're talking about.
It's the Paul
Lines-
Stamets stack.
lines, maybe,
Yeah,
and
man.
other shit.
Look it up. He says he's got it down. I mean, the guy wears a mushroom for a fucking hat.
Yeah.
So he had it figured out a long time ago. He's like, this is the most effective for me when I do this. Yeah. And it kills depression. And they don't want people knowing that shit, dude,
Yo, you know
because
what's a true story. I don't know if you know this, but from before, I think I told you once upon a time I killed myself, and after I woke up and I was in the hospital or whatever, I'd already been taking a lot of mushrooms before that or whatever,
right.
and I'd already kind of realized, pre this situation beforehand that I shouldn't be doing drugs or whatever. That's why I was like smoking weed. You know? Like I should just like stop doing drugs and like only smoke weed. You know, but I was going through like a phase. My cousin died. Broke up with my girlfriend of like 9 years. My dog died. Like a lot of shit happened at once. I just had it, and when I woke up or whatever, I was like having these weird ass like almost like premonitions, like little like weird dreams, like daydreams, and they were about mushrooms.
Okay.
I started doing mushrooms every day for like from like 6 to like 9 months, and my body was like super weak from
That's weird.
offing myself. You know, my body was like weird. I had no like dexterity in my hands or nothing, and then like slowly I was getting like a lot stronger and stuff. And I could feel it from the mushrooms. It was like bringing me back to life.
Whoa.
Swear to God on everything.
Well, I know you don't bullshit, man.
Yeah.
I believe that. I mean, Paul Stamets didn't stutter after he's the guy. I don't know if you heard his story, but there was like a long story short. He was walking home. He was a kid. He took a bunch of mushrooms. A lightning storm starts coming. He didn't know why, but he climbed at the top of this fucking tree, and this storm just rips through. And for some reason, he just told himself, "Dude, I'm so sick of myself. I don't want to stutter anymore. I don't want to stutter." So he got down from the tree. The storm blows by. And like he thought he was gonna die. That storm was so nasty, dude. It was blowing him all around in this fucking tree, and he thought he was gonna get either hit by lightning or blow off the tree and die or whatever. So he's walking on the street, and the girl next door that he really likes, and he stutters every time he talks to her. He just said there was an exchange, and he didn't stutter when he said, I don't remember what the fuck he said, but yeah, and then ever since then he never stuttered again, and he took all kinds of classes and stuff to try to
Well, there's a lot
fix
of
it,
studies
and
on it that
nothing
say
worked.
that it's like a regenerative for your brain cells.
I mean,
Stimulates the mind.
that's crazy, bro. And it sounds stupid, but when you think about it, they come out of the ground.
Well, you know that phrase like you only use 10% of your brain or whatever.
Yeah.
When they have like these I don't know what type of scans they do on the brain or whatever, but they do a scan of like normal brain and one on mushrooms.
And they can
whatever.
see the activity.
Yeah, it shows all the
I've seen
activity. It's like
I've seen that
through
before.
the roof. It's crazy.
Yeah. So like you said, it stimulates the cortex
Well,
and
I'm
gets
like-
it
I
going.
thought I heard the opposite.
Really?
I thought I heard the opposite in the study at some point, because that's what they did like a scan, and they wanted it, or the expectation and what was always said was that there was more stimulation going on in the brain, but then it was more reduced.
Interesting. And that was for psilocybin?
I believe so.
Interesting. Because I've heard what Cody's heard. I've actually saw it. Yeah, you just go basically to, I mean, man, one of my,
I don't doubt what he's saying, but I kind of I felt it firsthand too. You know, you just feel like
that's where I was going to go with that.
You feel like a certain type of like, this is a crazy. I could tell you about my trip too. It was like I've always been kind of like cynical. Like I always thought about it since I was younger. Like death just kind of bugs me out. Like why the fuck are we even here? You're gonna die. You know, like it's just like it's like a fucking. It makes you anxious to think about if you think about it too much. You know.
Right.
So I'm almost until recently just like stopped thinking about that. Like after I had that, you know, I just off myself and fucking when I came back, I was like, oh, I'm kind of over that.
Right.
Back to the chalkboard type shit.
Right.
But I feel like when I was taking shrooms or whatever, it kind of made me feel the opposite. Like I wanted to like, you know, I felt like this warmth in me. I was like, oh, maybe I should like give a fuck. Like, I should give a fuck about shit.
Yeah, it's a
Take care of myself.
What's the word I'm looking for? It's like it brings you to feeling like you're. It makes sense, man. It comes from a ground of microcilia. Is that what it is? Mycelia?
Mycelium.
And mycelium. And it's all through the ground, like it's veins in our bodies, dude. We are a part of this earth just like they are, and photosynthesis and everything that's going on underneath the ground. Dude, we are very much just another part that exists on this planet with it. It would make sense that we eat it when it comes out of the ground because we eat everything else anyway and feel some sort of way because of it. And it would be a great way for us to connect with something greater, you know? Yeah, I know that when I was younger, I didn't know how to use it, so I would just get fucked up and I wouldn't like it. So I never did it. Besides the 1 or 2 times I did it.
I'm not gonna lie, even when it's like a good time, it shows me sometimes I just don't like it sometimes anyways. It's so
It
intense.
seems more like a necessary thing.
Yeah, it's intense, so it's
But
fuck.
that's where but that's what they say at the Johns Hopkins when they do the intense treatment. They say that's for like a deep massage. Like you need to go. It's deep. It's not a massage. It's deep therapy.
No,
It's
I
like
feel it when I come out of it.
Yeah.
It feels necessary, like you said. You know, it feels necessary.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. You can't explain it. But anyway, now that I'm older and I did it and I knew what to expect and I was like, wow, this stuff really cures. And I knew the statistics and I'm like, damn, one use reduces your chances of having a violent encounter by 37%. Just one time a use is psilocybin. Dude, that's in itself, that's mind blowing. One use of something makes you 37% less likely to commit a violent encounter. Well, then that's what talking to what you're thinking. When you said that there was something about me that was less cynical and I just wanted to be more, I just wanted to say, well, maybe something else. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. And that's what, and then that would make sense for you, stimulate what you said earlier about stimulating the brain.
I had these wild thoughts too. I kept having these like for me, it was very visual. I would close my eyes and have trips of my the words I was thinking, as my thoughts are going, they would be words so I'm in a graffiti and stuff,
Right.
So if I'm thinking about a word, I remember one of them for me was learn more,
Right.
So it's the more you learn, you start to care more. Learning is a part of caring too,
Right.
It's the more you learn on a subject, the more you start to envelop it more or whatever.
Right. And dude, I could attest to that because that's what I'm going through right now. It's exactly what, ever since I started learning shit, I'm like, everybody needs to know this shit. Like if you know it, in my mind, we all have hobbies, right? And that's why I got off of, we all have hobbies, like watching this particular sport. Some people watch baseball, some people watch hockey, some people watch basketball, some people watch football, some people watch hockey, some people watch boxing, some people watch whatever, right? That's just, there's millions of those hobbies. Literally, whether it's archery, going fucking skiing, whatever it is. We're all preoccupied doing shit. So when I learn about this shit that I'm learning about, it's only common sense to me that everybody should know about this shit. And too many people do not. And if you want to talk about being a citizen or a good patriot or whatever, fuck all the rah-rah shit, man.
Wait, I have a comment for that 1 second, but I was wondering, did you find anything for the...
Yeah, did you? I was going to ask you that too.
Yeah, it says there is a study where there was less activity in the colostrum.
So
What the fuck is a colostrum?
A more specific
which
part of
is
brain?
where is it?
It's where your brain excretes.
It's more specific.
The scans after psilocybin use showed that the colostrum was less active, meaning the area of the brain believed responsible for setting attention and switching tasks is turned down when on the drug.
Oh,
So it's in the colostrum. It's in the
So you can't
colostrum of the
multitask when
brain
you're on
specifically.
shrooms.
That's right. That's why you keep forgetting what you're doing or whatever.
That's very specific, yeah. Oh, yeah, that happens
It's
a lot.
not for the entire brain. It's just for that specific.
I remember
area of the
looking
brain.
at the different parts of the brain the other day, and I don't remember seeing a colostrum.
I wonder if they should run another test where it's the brain after versus a normal brain, not
I think
actually.
they have done all that stuff.
Oh well, shit,
They've
I don't
done all
know.
that kind of testing.
Yeah,
Right now, right?
well, Johns Hopkins, dude, that's a fucking great school and or university or whatever, and they have amazing fucking.
and they've proved that it's more effective for depression than described.
Even
like the percentage is
dying.
higher.
Yeah, even if they're dying, dude, they send them on this thing, and they're like, holy shit! It's like they.
If I was dying, I swear I would be eating mushrooms by the pound. Like, if I knew I was about to die, I would be eating mushrooms by the pound because it's so like heavenly. That's literally like.
Yeah, but that's what they're saying, and then it makes it's been known to not only prolong their life when they're dying, but it makes them believe when they didn't believe before. A lot of people, like they'll take an atheist and they'll actually start becoming spiritual and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and that makes sense. You know, I mean, dude, and that's a great study. But anyway, back to my other point, dude. They're never going to make that legal unless people are dependent on it. So the microdoses, in my opinion, if they did need to be all the time, I think that they would box it up and sell it to people.
It's already illegal in some places, though.
Right. But what I'm talking about in America.
In Oregon and California, some part of California.
Right.
Huh? You said legal?
Yeah, mushrooms are legal.
Oh, yeah.
In Oregon and
Colorado, right?
I think Colorado, and then somewhere in
wherever there's white people, because they don't want to arrest them. So, So when you put them in the damn microdoses, they must cure it, because otherwise they would put them in there with the SSRIs that prolong everything. The Xanax or whatever or not the Xanax, what are the SSRIs that cure depression for a little bit or whatever? The
Paxil.
There you go.
Whatever. Those
kind
of things.
Yeah, shit like that. I don't know all the names, but I know there's like 4 or 5 of them or some shit like that, maybe even more. But anyway,
Xanax is just for like
benzos,
anxiety to you're having an anxiety attack.
But that's the problem with the system, because it doesn't work. It was supposed to be there to do all these amazing things. But there you go. If it doesn't make profit, they don't want to cure it. And that's where late stage capitalism starts topping out and everything just turns to fucked. And
what are we trying to get them to cure? COVID? They already did that. It's gone.
It's gone, man. All of it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. It's just a rush to take our money, and then human life becomes so.
Are you allowed to talk about that now on YouTube, or do they still like try to ban you for talking about
Well, I'm not popular enough.
About COVID?
Yeah.
I think it's only if you talk about vaccines, then they.
Yeah. But if you also say that it works, it helps fight severe illnesses and it reduces hospitalizations, then you're good.
Okay.
You're good as long as you just say that. The vaccine. That's right. Then you can talk shit. And just be like, I think, but I don't. What do I know?
I heard that some of the documents the FDA released were kind of damning.
Were they?
Saying that they had, didn't you show? Wasn't there a video? I don't know if you sent it to me or not. Where with Fauci and how it was showing him from back in the day.
The C-SPAN video, yeah,
saying that if you contracted the
virus.
Then you don't need the vaccine. He specifically said that out of his mouth.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
And
video.
then...
and they didn't show that while the vaccine was going, while they were trying to get everybody to take a...
But there was something in those documents that said if you had... I don't remember exactly how it was worded, but that if you had contracted it, it was just as good as a vaccine. But then they changed something to where...
Yeah, they changed it.
So where they didn't communicate that to the public.
Hmm.
They didn't... Because they said it doesn't matter if you got it. You still need the vaccine. Right?
Yeah, that's what they said.
There was something in the document that was opposite of that.
Yeah, natural immunity, they said, is way better than having a vaccine.
They definitely switched stances on a couple of things. The mask.
All of it. You're right, the mask. And herd immunity, they lied about that. They were like, "Oh, we got to get it to 60%. Oh, just 70%. We hit, they're like, "Oh, maybe it's going to be 80%."
They lied about the masks?
Yeah, they lied about the mask.
Lied, but switched stances on it a little bit. I'm not sure if it was.
He did. He did lie. He admitted he lied, and he told why he lied.
It was just to me, I wasn't following it so close because I don't watch the news or TV really. But so when I see stuff, it's more like bits and pieces from like either Twitter, or like social media and stuff.
Right.
Which is kind of terrible for stances, which I usually don't give a take anyway.
Right.
Anyways, what I'm saying is, when I saw it, it was it was more of a switch stance on a complete understanding of where they stood on and which masks were the most.
In the beginning they were like that. They were telling you not to touch stuff, and they found out that didn't matter. It's just completely airborne, and it doesn't stay on surfaces. So
that's right. They did say that
the hand sanitizer
3 things
was
no. There's more. I got more.
As necessary as they made it sound like.
I remember that one.
Even though I use that shit all the time now, and I never used it before. Now I just do.
And they said that when you take the vaccine, that you're good. Like you'll never contract it again at first.
Yeah.
And then it became, well, you're going to be good. Low hospitalizations and not severe illness. At least you're good.
We're going to need a 3rd booster too.
Then the mask that I thought you were talking about was when he said to him, hey, the mask don't work. You can get a little smuts, whatever. In fact, it just keeps it together. Then he went on 60 Minutes and he said, I had to lie. He goes, because they were telling everybody to put on a mask again. And he goes, I had to lie because at the very beginning we didn't have enough PPE for the nurses, for the hospital staff. So we had to lie.
You one of these eventually.
But here's my thought behind that. That is funny. Show the camera. Here's my thought behind that. They did that because if that was the case, then why lie to the public? Why not just tell them that straight up and say we're keeping the mask? Hold on, finish. Hear me out. Well, make your own makeshift mask at home.
They were saying that too, right?
No, they weren't.
Oh,
and hold on, follow me through here. I know we're all. Your weed was really good, but hold on a second. Hold on a second. So then I think they wanted to profit because it's a for-profit system. They wanted to make the masks for us. And they wanted to get them out. And, bro, they had every kind of fucking mask there ever was.
Well, that's what I meant by switching stances before because I'm not real too sure about everything I say because I just, don't remember really. So what I meant is that, there was just uncertainty on everything they were saying. Like, they were like this and then that and then that. I'm like, I don't remember exactly.
Yeah.
But as soon as that started happening, I'm like, I'm not listening to any of this bullshit.
Dude.
How the fuck are you uncertain?
And I'm not even done. There was another lie. What was the other? Oh, the origin of it. They said at first it was a bat. And then all of a sudden they said, if you talk about lab leaks, then you're going to be censored, banned off social media. They were coming after everybody. It ended up being
a bat. No, I'm just kidding.
No, but a bat ended up being on our quarter. And that was fucking weird. Our 2020 quarter. I think about them kind of things, man.
I don't remember that. But
yeah, dude, so it was a lab leak though, right?
Yes.
Is that what? Or is that?
I guess so,
dude. Even further into the lab leak thing,
because I heard that there is a lab there.
Yes,
and they were working on actual coronaviruses.
Dude,
then they were talking about the whether he funded the gain of function research or not.
Crazy about the lab.
Dude, how many is that? That's like 6.
Crazy about the lab leak shit is up to date shit is coming out about the lab leak in Wuhan as of yesterday or the day before.
Or somebody fucked a bat.
Somebody fucked a bat. Yeah, man, dude.
But basically, that there's U.S. funding behind the Wuhan shit.
Yeah,
that
it's Dr. Fauci's lab, gain of function research. That's what he was getting pressed on.
Whoa.
Yeah.
This guy knows a lot of shit.
His name is attached to the Wuhan lab.
I remember.
No,
I wouldn't say for certain, but I do remember reading something along those lines.
Like he was connected to the lab in China somehow.
Bro.
Yes.
It's bad.
It wouldn't be surprising.
And think about what coronavirus did. This sticks.
Everything's totally corrupt.
This is what I think about coronavirus when I think about my most evil thought. I think about how old people died. So Social Security, so they got to keep all those money. I think about how many old people died out of all the people that died that were collecting Social Security that no longer can collect Social Security. So they get to keep all that money now.
The crazy thing about evilness is
well, maybe it goes to a dependent, the
Social Security.
If you're married and you die, then you're...
Yeah, some of it does, but some of it goes right back. And a lot of it does, in fact. They make out. I just think about that sometimes. I'm not saying anything.
Well, you never know how much the government comes up off a dead body anyway.
It's all about for profit, though. That's the thing.
You got the graveyard, the hospital, the police. It's all tied in together. It's a monopoly.
But it's so evil though, because they're all for profit. So that's what it's always about. So if we don't think like that, if you don't start like that, it's almost like you have to assume that. It's not almost like you have to assume that every time once you're going to any kind of thought on anything, especially when you see that these policies and legislation ain't worth a fuck to people, dude. If it has anything to do with economically.
Dude, the evilness.
So you're saying that all these people that are doing all these bad things or whatever, they're doing it for money.
It's political theater.
But they're doing it for money.
Yeah, that's
right?
how the system works.
But they're doing it.
Maybe more than that, though. Could be more than money.
Well, it must be more than money because you already told me money don't make you happy. So they're not doing it in order to be happy.
Well, careerism, if you're talking about Congress where they only make 170 a year or whatever.
I'm saying like what drives them to pick something that's not the will of the people when they don't approve, big
because they can't, because they're beholden to their donors. They're already bought out before anything happens. That's why nothing, even the Build Back Better was nothing. They stripped it down to nothing. Huh?
You lost me.
So nobody running stuff has any integrity at all.
No, because they're under too much pressure. And Bernie Sanders kind of was the one that I was kind of like, he could have ran independent. He could have ran third party. He could have called out Biden and he said, you know what? He's corrupt.
Plot twist, Bernie Sanders, the worst one. That would be terrible though. But imagine he's just like another puppet.
What if he was like, the main bad faith actor?
I'm not gonna front. I'm on the Bernie train too, but I'm just to be shits and giggles. Let's just say same shit might have.
Well, AOC too. She was protesting out front of Nancy Pelosi's office. They watch her videos before she got in, and then how she was like, "Oh, I'll be a one-term congresswoman. I don't care," and she went in there and just sold out. And Nina Turner now, she just got crooked for Chantel Brown, and she don't even talk shit. Like, she should be bad-mouthing the Democrats, and she's like, they're okay. Like, it's in their actions, man. I play poker, so I watch what kind of leverage, when they have their leverage, if they use their leverage, and they never do. They never do.
I don't really follow it, but I've heard her talk a few times. She sounds good.
She does. She's a sweethart, and that's the problem.
But she doesn't do what she says she's going to do.
She never, dude. Yeah, and then she funds the $1 million or $1 billion to the dome, the missile defense dome, that Israel.
I think they should make it a law to where they're not allowed to do that.
I think so too.
If you say this is what especially if it's president, or if this is what you're running on,
or
you have to do it, or
the people can impeach you, or the people can impeach you on the spot.
Like, you have to do it.
Yes.
What's that called when you do that in a business or something? Though? You're like, false advertising.
Yeah.
False advertising.
Well, that's what it is, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's political theater, man. Yeah. And the reason why this is, it's not just because they want to be greedy and they just have to do this. It's the system that it gets to this. This is late stage capitalism. When it gets this far,
it's like whatever's the best chess move.
Not only that, but the best chess move to
they'll put it in play. Boom, whatever's gonna get
the best chess move to get their donors money and to keep it look like we're fighting for the people and there's an actual democracy when there's not, dude.
Exactly.
That's really,
I concur,
what I see, man.
Yeah, we should move to another country.
No, man. No, because we're pushing the neoliberal capitalist model on all the countries. That's why we're fighting with Russia and China.
I won't even travel to another country. I'm like,
smart move. That's kind of smart from an insurance point of view and a.
You know what I was thinking? I was talking to my next door neighbor, my new next door neighbor, and we were talking about the Blue Ridge up there in Georgia, and she was talking about how she has property up there, and she was like, "Oh, you got horse?" Talking to my girl, and she was like, "I love horses. Oh my god!" But I was like, "Wait a minute." So she got me thinking. Florida's filling up like a cup, dude, and that's why the properties and crazy shit, the money is going crazy. She said we get like 4 or 5 acres up there for like $400,000 or $500,000, dude.
Put a house on it.
Yeah, $400,000 a house and like 4 or 5 acres. Once Florida fills up, I'm trying to think ahead with my girl, and I'm like, once Florida fills up. Dude, this shit is going to be old news. People are going to like, the beach, I didn't like that shit that much anyway. And they're going to want to go get a piece of property.
It was popping today.
Yeah, was the beach popping?
Yes.
You were out there?
Yes, I was.
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, man. Which beach did you go to?
A couple of them. I went to Daytona first.
Yeah. Fuck Daytona. There. You go to New Smyrna?
Yep.
Yeah, New Smyrna's sweet. I like New Smyrna.
Nice, yeah.
But anyway, yeah, once Florida fills up, dude, I think that's the next move. And then that property is going to go boom and
Well, I was
be
gonna
worth
say,
so much.
the reason I said that is because it looked like I've lived here, a lot of years of my life, and there's fucking packed, dude.
Was it?
A lot of people. Yeah, like
Well,
more
it's
than
it's Memorial Day
yeah,
weekend,
but
so
more,
they're
more than normal.
This Memorial Day weekend.
Like
So-
way more than normal.
oh yeah, they go out there during Memorial Day weekend.
yeah.
It's a party, bro. In fact, they got me thinking we need a beer and a shot.
I know
again right
that,
now.
but like you might not be able to drive up to it right now.
Oh,
That's how many people there are.
is that bad?
They look like they came from Brazil or something. There's a lot of people.
Oh, really? Well, it is the #1 tourist state. That's why it sucks, dude.
For this time of the year,
During
too,
the day, have you ever been to Champions Gate or Celebration down by Disney? That whole area is fuck all from like 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. every day, forever. And by fuck all, I mean
bumper
you're
to bumper.
walking faster than you're moving. Shit, it's so bad, and it's and that's I don't think you could widen the roads enough, man. You got old people moving here because it's warm. You got kids moving here because it's cool. Yeah. It's a tourist attraction, so everybody wants to be here. So you have natural traffic as it exists. And that's only going to get more and more until it fills up completely. And I'm not convinced that won't be too long from now. So I'm thinking about everything. So maybe not another country, but maybe another state.
It's weird how people want to stack on top of each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's a nice place, so
Stack.
I don't blame them.
Stack.
Yeah, we should stop letting them in. Kick them out.
Yeah, build a wall.
Build a wall around Florida.
Build a wall around Florida.
Got enough. Can't get in.
Gotta
now.
keep them out of here, man.
I wonder if that would make people want to come more. They'd be like, yo, there's a wall around Florida. I wonder what's in there.
Yeah, I said, yeah, exactly. That's what it does, man. Makes you want to get there more. Fuck all that. So, was that all of the story
What story?
that we had? I mean, because you got to the farm and you
Oh,
found the
man.
I
magical
don't know.
weed stock and everything was amazing. I mean, that's some pretty impressive bud, bro. I mean, I haven't been smoking as much as I was. I've been kind of periodically taking off so I could read these books and shit. Because I retain a lot more, but I know that's strong. That was strong.
Yeah.
I was what was that particular one that we smoked? What kind was that?
I believe that one's called Gumbo.
Gumbo?
Yes, sir.
Gumbo was good.
Yep.
Gumbo made me Dumbo. How you feeling, Stack? You okay, buddy?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, relaxed. So Stack came relaxed. We're on a Saturday here. It's a long Memorial Day weekend.
I was thinking about some weird thing to say about gumbo. Well,
All right, well,
Let
what we
it
gonna
ride.
talk about?
what's the name of that character that used to be? Oh, Gumby. That's what it is.
Gumby. People had the Gumby haircut.
Remember the blockheads?
Yeah, it had the Gumby haircuts.
Gumby.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, how old are you? Are we?
I don't remember.
Oh, nice.
You don't remember Gumby?
I don't remember how old I am.
Oh, yeah.
I said it actually earlier, and I was like, "Shit, why did I say that?"
On the show?
Yeah,
Really? I don't remember that. I'm high.
I don't care telling people how old I am.
I was saying if my grandmother was alive, she would give me $42 this year.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I didn't think
yeah,
that you were
42.
being literal, though. I thought you were just shooting numbers. I don't know why.
I didn't
Yeah.
know either.
It's reasonable.
Well, I thought about that earlier. I wonder if everybody was wondering how old.
No, because you said someone else's age too, right? So I
Yeah, I called him out too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't give a shit.
I wasn't sure if you were like, oh yeah, you're just gonna give away everybody.
Nah, I don't give a shit because, yeah, I embrace my age. I'm getting better anyway. I don't want to be my young self ever again.
Yeah, I'm starting to feel that way now. I was once young, like last week or something.
Yeah.
Well, I still think that I'm like really young, obviously compared to you guys, but according to the kids,
Obviously compared.
obviously.
The kids, they're the ones that'll remind you the most.
No, the kids are like, dude, you're old now. I'm like, how? How? Like I run faster than you do. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, right.
But apparently I'm old now. I don't know what the fuck that means.
Yeah, that sucks, man.
Cool. Just joined you guys.
You're not old to me, Cody.
old
you
what?
you still young. You still young.
No, like, I guess that's just how it feels. Like I guess, like you guys probably don't feel old either. But
I don't know how old are you?
group you in. I'm
When-
30. I just turned 32 or 33.
Yeah,
I forgot how
that's
many
old enough
30s
for
I
people
was.
to call you old now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
When
you're
I was
old.
in my 30s, I forgot how old
So I'm
I
like,
was.
oh shit, I'm old now. Like it's a weird thing transition over because I'm like super immature.
Yeah. When I got to like 35 or 36, this is how much I don't care about my age. I literally forgot how old I was. I had to fucking go back to my birthday.
No, I swear to God,
And
until
count.
this year, I forgot how old I was.
Did you?
Yeah, until this year, actually because I haven't celebrated my birthday in like 4 or 5 years.
Oh shit.
And I
You should
celebrated this
celebrate.
year. I just decided to just have fun,
Right.
a little more fun. Fucking
Right.
fuck it.
Now I
Look at my
think
birth
you
certificate.
should
Go
celebrate your birthday. Even if you don't know how old you are, you should be. And you're born, man.
Well, on
you know?
that day, you remember, you're like, oh yeah, it's fucking.
Yeah. If you believe everybody's special, you believe that everybody should celebrate their birthday. That's how I look at it.
Fuck.
I wonder if people not born on the whole number, forget how old they are once in a while.
What do you
'Cause
mean?
I was born in 1980, so I always remember how old I am.
That's true.
'Cause it's easy to calculate.
That's true.
Like if you're born in like 83 or
Yeah.
whatever,
Like 87 or some shit, yeah.
and
Yeah.
97.
Yeah, it's an off number. It's weird to. It's
You
easier
might
to
forget
lose
how old you
track.
were. I never forget how old I am. I'm like, oh, yeah,
Yeah.
shit.
I just realized we're in this for one ride,
1980.
one ride only. So, dude, no matter how old you are, you survived another day.
Well, I never really
Especially
gave a
today,
fuck,
man. Today's crazy, huh?
I never really gave a fuck. Like, what does it mean how old you are? Like,
Yeah, that's how I look at it.
Yeah.
In a way, it's just time. Think about what time is. What's 24 hours? What's a birthday? What's 365? We're here for
have you heard that new? I don't know. It's like some internet rumor or something that
what's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday?
there should be 13 months.
13 months.
Yeah.
No, I never heard that.
I heard that.
You heard that recently?
Yeah, I did hear that recently.
They're being serious?
No, they went through it, and there's like a missing month, and that's why there's
That's why
so
a leap
many-
year and shit.
Yeah.
Because they're all.
See, so we're
I
all
forget
fucked up
exactly
anyway.
How is it explained? But it worked out to 13
That fucks
months.
everything up right there.
No, it's actually making it more correct, is what they're saying. That we're doing it fucked up, and that would be a more accurate calculation of time.
Oh.
Yeah, they say we've been doing it wrong for.
Because even what year it is now is super ambiguous.
Yeah,
It's
some
like
some king
2000.
changed it back in the day.
But
or
that goes
something
back
like
to what I'm saying. None of it means anything.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's like we're saying in 2020, but it's like obviously it's not 2020
Right.
or 2022 or whatever. Fuck.
It wouldn't even be close.
Yeah,
It wouldn't even be close
that's
if
a
it was off.
stupid ass year.
Yeah.
If you think about it, like
If you think about it, it refers to Jesus.
yeah, but if you
So
think
that's
about
not stupid.
that's- yeah. Took me a second. All right.
Jesus.
I love you,
Can't
dog.
say that.
Yeah, good
That's
man, good
hilarious,
man.
bro. That is
It's
fucking
like
great.
You're right. You're
That's
right.
like saying that about God too. That's not cool.
That's great. That's
Yeah.
great.
All right. All right.
I'm so
I don't know why I
twisted
said
off
that. I'm
shit.
sorry.
I only
No, that was
took
good.
like
That
2
was good.
puffs off that thing,
That was a
dude.
good spin.
No, that was a great fucking spin. That was fucking hilarious.
Well, more actually is what was his Jesus' dude?
Oh, we were talking about the year. That's why that came up.
Constantine was his the guy that actually made time that year. It was according to Jesus, but it was
Constant? I don't know.
or whatever the fuck the emperor was.
I was talking to somebody I just met about creationism versus evolutionism. And she actually schooled me to some shit. And I was just like, oh, that's interesting. And then,
She schooled you in evolution.
but I walked away going, I still don't know what I believe because it's all crazy. Like whether you believe God created everything in 7 days or we went from nothing, from a pen
To a monkey?
from a pen needle to a planet, the Big Bang Theory.
Oh, the
Whether
other one, my bad.
whatever you believe in on either one of those terms is crazy. So that's why I'm spiritual. I'm just in between. I'm like, man, I know we were created somehow. So that's just the best way for me to be.
Could be both.
Yeah. What?
It could be perceptually. It could be both. Like you have a Big Bang and an evolution. Like
Yeah.
everything came.
Yeah.
from
I mean, with those two theories, I mean, yeah. Anything else? Why not have a C and a D and an E, F, G?
Because maybe it's just perceptual that everything came from nothing. If nothing is I don't know. Nothing is also a perception too.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it could have just been, yeah, one deal, everything. I don't know though, man. Like that's why. But isn't that the great part about it though? You're not supposed to know.
Getting back to mushrooms, don't they believe that mushrooms was the first organism of the evolutionary track that got us to be human?
We somehow share a lot of DNA with the fungi kingdom.
Yeah, cool.
And there's that stoned ape theory that Terrence McKenna and Paul Stamets is like has a lot of stuff about it like currently.
When you do mushrooms, you have thoughts that you've never had before.
Well, like have you heard about
you're just like
have you heard about the stoned ape theory that they're talking?
No, what? Tell me about it.
It's where Terrence McKenna theorized that when there was lower primate human whatever they were
humanoids,
yeah.
Apes.
So prior Homo sapiens, Neanderthals, and the other one,
cavemen and shit.
We're not scientists yet.
But yeah, so or even prior to that, actually, like when they were lesser, like more like apes, right? Stone ape theory. So they're walking around, they start nibbling on mushrooms, and they get more
intelligent.
More intelligent, but more like it starts off like they get their senses are heightened. They can see better, they can hear better, right? So this group of pre-humans are evolving faster than this group,
right?
Because these ones are, they're
sorry.
Yeah, whatever. I can't explain it.
No, you're doing a good job because I remember him talking about it, but I didn't know like. Yeah, I remember they would eat them because they grow out of the fucking ground, so they would eat them. And
the theory is it helps them more with hunting and getting smarter, figuring out
because they're having
whatever tools or whatever, and they so the whole theory is that it made us evolve faster.
Right,
is basically it.
Right. I believe that, yo.
Something that just came to mind though, as I wonder along the lines, because I always had this thought too, is like, why did we start applying fire to meat? Which is like kind of a crazy idea, but also too is along the lines like where
cook that meat, son.
I wonder a little along the lines too is like the apes, like maybe too, like I wonder if some of them were like, yeah, we're tired of like chasing animals all the time, so maybe they were more of just like grabbing greens and shit off the earth, like plant life and shit.
For sure.
They were more along like the vegan humans.
Right.
So like I don't know, maybe it has something to do with it. I was just
maybe, but
yeah, I'm vegan.
I mean, look at a mushroom though. I'd eat that shit.
I don't know.
You especially if you eat anything out of the ground. I'd put it on one of my little patties or something, and I'd be like, I'm gonna eat this.
I imagine it's 1,000 times easier than chasing down whatever the hell you have to.
Think about the trips from back then.
Stab with a spear.
Think about a monkey trip.
Are you eating it raw? Because then you got to peel back the skin, or are you like applying fire to? Because either way, you got to peel back the skin. It's crazy.
Yeah, dude. If I'm a fucking monkey back then tripping, think about tripping and then coming back. Like you're gone, right? You're like, yo, I don't even know why I'm feeling this way. And you're literally like the whole world is cooking around you. And you're looking at all your monkey friends and they don't know what the fuck's going on with you because they didn't take none of that shit.
Yeah, he's just like dreaming about 1 billion bananas.
Yeah. And he's just like, oh, man, he's just rubbing monkey faces everywhere. And then,
like, hey, all those bananas ain't going to make you happy, buddy.
Yeah.
That's a good one because I was just thinking, like, humans are mad complicated. They have, like, a lot of systems and stuff. It's like, there's a lot of shit to break down when you're on mushrooms, But for the animals, it's just like,
dude,
bananas and fucking.
Right. That's all you got. So anyway, so think about, and then he comes back and then he's normalized again. Think about how he takes that in and what he thought about, and maybe that's what you're talking about. How he would,
I think part of the theory too is that it helped them develop language too. I think that's another part of it.
And like you said, it stimulated their it got them activated.
Well, I imagine that's what happens when you get activated. You just start like blurting shit out and fucking.
It fucking came up with a language.
Blurting shit out, and somebody else says,
"Yes,
that means something."
That means something, man.
He's like, yeah, he's right.
Yeah, you're right, man. We should do these on to something, man. Spit them bars,
say it
man.
again, say it again, say it again. They're just like bopping, freestyle.
Man.
Oh, wait. I wanted to tell you guys my trip. Only because it's so fucking crazy.
Okay, I want to hear it. Let's go.
All right, so.
Why not? We're talking about everything. Microdosing, mushrooms, Hey, it fights depression. And that's an amazing thing. But anyway, go ahead.
All right, so this goes along the lines too. If you ask me like what happened when you sent me back to the fields, or whatever, but I think the field shit happened. The first field experience was before I met you.
Okay.
I was telling you I came from the fields already.
Okay.
I was going back to the fields, right?
Right.
Right. So before I met you,
Which I was sad.
first time I went to the weed
I was
field,
happy for you because you were going to a farm, but I was sad. The whole situation was sad.
So the first time I went to the weed farms is because, all right, when I lived here, with y'all coinciding with, this is the first time I tried to get the job with the construction
I
company
remember
or
that.
something. And I'd snapped my arm real bad.
Yeah, you got injured.
Yeah, I couldn't do anything, and they were telling me my arm wasn't gonna work.
That's what they told you?
Yeah, remember I was showing you the pictures? You don't
I
remember?
remember you got fucked up, but I didn't remember them telling you your arm wasn't
my
going
arm
to
was
work
snapped in
again.
half. It was like hanging off.
That's
my
not
fucking edge,
good,
and the
dude.
doctor's like, "Yeah, you're never gonna have an arm again." So I'm like super depressed. This was like,
Oh, man.
stacked on top of everything else that was going on.
Yeah.
So then when it finally started to heal, whatever, I couldn't work a job here because it was like lifting up shit and like doing everything, you know. So they were like, "Oh, you can come work on the, come to the wheat farms. We'll figure out what you can do." I was like super happy about this shit. So then, I'm like, I was pretty young at the time. I was like unsure about fucking everything. It's just like a terrible ride. And like finally going to the wheat farms, it was cool. I'm like, all right, I get to come here, figure some shit out. So beforehand, I had not had like a trip where I had not seen anything that wasn't actually there. Like usually, like when I trip, I'll like see things, but
Same here.
You just see like crazy ass details, or you'll see what's there. And it'll
Is
just
that
be
a
like,
matter of how much you take?
I imagine there's a
Yes.
threshold. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And so this time I'd been trimming buds or whatever, working on wheat farms like for a long time, and it was just getting like monotonous, every day doing the same shit.
Right.
And I found out there was like mushrooms and acids here and everything, and I was like, all right, I've done this before, like it'll be cool. So I got some, and I'm doing it while I'm working or whatever. But what happened was,
You did it while you were working?
yeah, it was just like helping me go through the time super easy. It's super easy to trim buds, whatever.
Oh, okay. Trimming buds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you take like a low dose, it's kind of like an Adderall effect where I'm just like buzzing through time, fucking
True.
trimming this shit.
Plus, it's good for you because it's microdosing.
Yeah. No, well, I had taken a pretty heavy dose this one time, and I was like, oh, this is wild as fuck. Like I was taking I had taken acid this time actually, and so I asked this kid the next day. I was like, "Yo, can I get some more?" And he got me like he was trying to sell me I didn't know that acid came in liquid like this. I should have known, but it was like a vial. It was like a big ass
Holy
vial.
shit!
I was like, dude, that's all acid. And I didn't know I didn't know it was clear. I didn't know none of this stuff. I was like just learning. I was like, this is amazing.
So this is the shit they literally take a drop and put it on the paper.
Drop
But he
it,
had a
put
whole
on-
vial of
Yeah, he
it.
had a whole vial.
Holy shit! How much is that? Like grams or
I have no idea.
like an ounce?
I have no idea.
Because I know like a quarter ounce of fucking liquor or something is very small, but like if you had a vial of something, that's got to be like several ounces.
It must have been. If you think about how many drops they put on a piece of paper, acid.
Oh,
pad
yeah.
paper. They only put like
It's
4.
measured in micrograms.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, so I imagine that was a lot. Like I imagine that must have been like $1,000 worth. Like I don't really know how it works, but I imagine that was a lot. So, but he gave me a nice chunk, like pretty much like the baby shot you gave me. He gave me like a nice chunk like that.
You're just gonna shoot it?
No, he put it in a water bottle and gave it to me. So I was just like,
Keep
to hold
it.
it for the next day and just
Gotcha.
dose out of it, you know?
I was gonna say you'll die.
My dumb ass though puts it in a water bottle is the same as the other water bottle I had and mixed them up.
Oh,
the next
don't
day.
tell me,
So I'm
dude.
at work and I took a swig and looked down it and I knew instantly when I set it down because it was empty. I heard it hit the thing. I'm like, oh, I just fucked up. Like this is crazy. And an hour in, I'm like having like the most like craziest ride ever. Like I'm going for a ride. Like I'm not.
Yeah,
in my
because that's
seat.
even more intense because you weren't expecting to do it. So that means you're even, because now your anxiety's up. It's because you're like, oh my God, I just fucked up.
Yeah.
And then, so everything's connected, and I imagine that makes for an intense situation.
Yeah, so like I could explain it a little bit. It's like if you ever seen those pictures when you're
So how
looking
much
at-
did you do?
I don't know. A
If
shot.
it was a vial, that was a lot.
No, it wasn't the whole vial. It was like
No.
a fraction of the vial, like
Yeah.
a quarter of the
He
vial.
gave
I'd
him a
say.
little bit,
Yeah. A
but you
big
did the
shot.
whole shit.
But I took the whole shot, yeah. So it must have been like so many drips.
It didn't taste different than water?
No.
It tastes like
I don't
just,
remember the taste. No, I don't remember having a taste.
wow. And
But-
so what happened?
So this is what's crazy. I went to so I don't know if you ever seen those pictures like when you're going into it and it just keeps going forever. You ever seen those pictures like on Instagram or whatever? It's like some artists know how to do.
Oh, where you look into it for a while and it starts moving?
No, it's a motion picture. It's like a video. You'll be like looking at a picture, but you're going into the picture and it just goes forever. Like you'll be on the road.
Turns into something else.
Yeah, it just keeps turning into a new scenery. Like you'll be on the road, you're going through New York, and it just keeps going and going and going.
Okay.
It's pretty crazy, but
All right.
this happens I guess this happens when you're on acid. I was looking at this nug of bud, and like it was like on a it was like on like those, it was like fractal. Like I was looking at the nug, and then all of a sudden I saw like 30 nugs inside of the nug, like going down into it. And then from there, I went to like another place. Like all the while I was looking into the nug.
Yeah, you were like going through the forest of the nug.
Yeah. Well, the forest turned into something else, and then I don't remember. And then what's crazy is like time went by mad quick, and I popped up right back in the tent I was in, but it was like 10 hours later. Like it went by. It felt like it was like an hour maybe.
Right, not even, right.
And it was nighttime, and I was like, I remember grabbing my head and going like, oh my God, like that was too fucking much. I was almost back to where I was at, but I was still tripping mad hard. I was like, I was scared. I remember being really scared.
They said, I think they said that works too. Like in Johns Hopkins, where I think they do it with actual LSD. Anyway, I didn't know that. I thought it was just specifically psilocybin. But I guess they do the deep therapy in those sessions or whatever with actual acid too. So, I mean, I don't know, but
they're doing it.
But
with all
that sounded intense.
Psychedelics, right? They're doing with
they're
psilocybin, LSD.
Yeah. Well, they got
they classify MDMA as psychedelic,
right? And it's crazy because they're figuring it out. Like
ketamine is like
ketamine,
kind of legal in some places now.
Yeah, man.
Therapy.
Ketamine's crazy.
Ketamine has the same effect as for ADD and stuff, like what is it? Not ADD.
ADD.
Yeah, no, you're talking about
ADHD.
ADHD, but it's but ketamine. I think I heard that. I don't want to say the wrong thing.
I think it's for anxiety, depression, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I thought it was PTSD.
PTSD.
Well,
I'm not sure, to be honest. I thought it was the same thing they used for HDHD or HCAD or temper.
They should do it. They should do a study
I can't
where
even think, bro. I'm so high.
Give this person an antidepressant and give them $1 billion and see.
That's a good one.
See like where the studies go.
Say that again.
That's a
instead of a placebo, they get $1 billion.
Oh.
And see at the end, who says they're happier after whatever 6 months or whatever.
I wonder if they've done that.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe on a smaller scale.
I wonder if there's like CIA operations like that where they just like throw people into like communities like, here, take this $1 billion and see what happens with it.
Right.
See what you can do.
Well, they did it they do it in movies like Trading Places, right?
Right.
Give the guy a bunch of money.
What is that?
Trading Places with Eddie Murphy.
Oh, that's right. Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah, Dan Aykroyd.
That movie's great.
Classic.
That movie's
and they
fucking
bet the dollar
great.
on it.
Yeah, they bet $1 on it.
They bet the dollar.
And they're bums.
Yeah,
they're bums.
Eddie Murphy. I missed that Eddie Murphy.
America movies. Those the guys in Trading Places. The old The oldest Wall Street guys.
Yeah.
He brought them back.
And Coming to America.
Yeah.
It's funny. I saw that movie when I was younger, but I barely started to understand that until like, like I didn't understand.
Yeah, like connecting those clues from the different movies.
It's very like there's a lot of like smarts to it too. Like I was a little kid when I saw, I was like, what?
I remember seeing it. I had seen both movies, and I didn't when I was a kid, and then I didn't like put it together. And then at some point, I seen them again. I was like, oh, that's the same
dudes. Same dudes. Yeah, man.
Coming to America is good too.
Yeah. How much time do we got left?
I don't know. How much time do you want to?
It's like an hour. It's like an hour and a half.
It's over an hour now. Yeah.
Okay, we got time then.
I mean, you didn't talk about any of your topics or.
Nah, I didn't. So. I didn't get into it. I was gonna talk about the school shooting. I got a lot to.
Wow.
I got a lot of stuff to talk about, but I didn't want to bring the party down because everybody,
I mean, that's
it's
real,
a sad
that's
situation.
some real shit, though. I mean, that's unfortunate that happened, and that's terrible.
Yeah, man. It's I mean, I'm just happy we got this BSing show back because
I looked it
I
up
could
and
BS.
there's
Like when you're in town, I could just talk to you and
Yeah.
whatever. That's kind of what this show was meant to be, but it kind of went into the other
minus
place.
the current events.
Yeah, because we didn't. The current event's supposed to be for the regular line podcast, and I think I'm gonna do what you said earlier. Like, yo, dude, you do 20 minutes and a break each, 3 segments type thing. I think I might bring that back to that show because that was the show, and I got everything else except for that.
What's your stance on the guns?
I mean, I'm pro gun, but the thing is, it's interesting, bro, because I was gonna talk about this a little bit. This was one of the many things. Well, hell, I'll talk about this one thing.
Well, they said that this kid that did the shooting bought both of his guns right after he turned 18.
Legally, yeah. That's why I asked, because...
And so now that they're debating, and I can't disagree with this, but it is weird that you can buy a gun when you're 18, and you can't buy cigarettes, you can't buy
it's not
alcohol.
Right.
That's not weird that you can...
I'm being sarcastic.
Oh, right.
The whole situation.
But I mean, if you're not responsible enough to smoke cigarettes,
yeah.
you're not responsible enough to drink alcohol, you shouldn't be allowed to buy a gun.
They send you to the military when you're...
So that... Well, if you're in the military, it's different.
Yeah, but you can go... If
you're a guy that came out of the military and you're still...
But I'm saying you can go kill somebody when you're 18. They can sign you up when you're 18 and go kill somebody when you're 18.
Yeah. Well, I think that's even flawed too.
Well, right. Yeah, maybe that should be older too. Like,
oh hell yeah.
Yeah. I agree.
I agree with you too.
Or they should bring the cigarette smoking age down, or bring it down to 16 or something.
Well, we could run through this real quick, man.
We've been smoking cigarettes since we were like... Everybody start... If you smoke cigarettes, you've been doing it since you were like probably like 15 or 16.
Right.
You know?
Well, there was a statement by the director of Texas Department of Safety, Stephen McGraw. He said, quote, 11:28, the suspect vehicle crashes into a ditch as previously described. The teacher runs to room 132 to retrieve a phone, and the same teacher walks back to the exit door, and the door remains propped open. Why even say that?
Wait, what? Is this
he's talking about the teacher fucked up and left the door open.
This is the shooting incident?
This is the shooting incident. So basically they're trying to smear the teacher, the dead teacher, dude.
So wait, why
they're not trying to smear, they're trying to...
Can you run it back real quick? So it starts off with him pulling up to the school?
He crashed into
the school, right. Wow. No, he crashed into a ditch by the school.
After he shot his grandmother.
After he shot his grandmother in the face.
Oh, this is the shooter.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. I thought you said it was the teacher that crashed the car. My bad.
No, but did you...
The teacher left like the side door open for some reason. I didn't hear. I didn't read that, but I guess you read.
Yeah, that's exactly what I just read.
That's important.
I heard he came in through an unlocked door, but it didn't.
Yeah.
The teacher.
Is it important? Because
it sounds important.
Yeah, but it's a school, dude. The cops fucking stood outside for an hour while kids were in that class getting fucking slaughtered, dude. And that's what they don't want you. So they're...
And I asked something real quick. My bad. How is this kid tied to the school? Did he go there? No, right?
No, because these were 10-year-olds and he was 18, I believe.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, you would think. That's what I think. Like, why did he pick there to shoot
well,
up?
He shot his
he might have gone there. They said it's like a kind of a small town. Maybe he went there when he was a kid, but he didn't go there now because he was 18 and it's an elementary school. Maybe he used to go there.
Because might make that point. That might make what you brought up maybe more important. Because if he didn't go there at all, that's kind of weird. If the door's just open, he just pulls up to some school.
He crashed in the ditch though and ran up there. But here's the thing, dude. The stories have been changing on this shit constantly since it happened.
He could have just got lucky.
Well, what I'm saying is, there's only one story
at that moment.
In a situation like this, dude. There's only one story to it when it comes out. How the fuck are we getting so many different stories?
Well, that's what's crazy about speculation is us from outsiders not being there. That's why I don't really like touch on some subjects sometimes.
Well, why wouldn't they talk about
shit? We wasn't there. We weren't
there. The school shootings are supposed to be like there's like 218 school shootings last year.
Yeah. So we're averaging, and
that doesn't mean people died in all of them, but there was that many.
No, but we had more mass shootings than we had days in a year.
I had a friend that pulled out his pistol during school and just let it off one time. I had no idea why the fuck he did that.
So
We had
I don't know.
That's considered school shooting, though.
Yeah, that's true. They tased parents at the scene while they were fucking telling them while their kids were being massacred.
What?
Inside?
No.
Yeah, dude. There's a video of the people out front,
Are they
dude,
allowed
like
to do
saying
that?
people are literally holding off the fucking cops, or the cops are holding off the public while they're just letting the shit go on.
Wow, that's insane,
And it's,
dude.
you know, I get it. You don't want to die. You weren't ready for that moment, but that's what you took an oath to do.
They let people run into the burning houses when they want.
Yeah, I mean,
if your house is on fire, then you just run in there like, sir, don't do that.
Do they?
They'll let you do it.
Well, that's different. Okay, well, I didn't know that. I mean, I'd never thought of that, honestly.
Well, that's kind of what happened with this, right? The guy ran in there to shoot him. The Border Patrol.
No.
The Border Patrol officer went in by himself without anybody else.
The Border Patrol that did go in there to kill this Ramos did so in defiance of the police officer orders.
Right.
The police gave him orders to not go in there, and they said, "Get the fuck back, dude. We're going in."
He had the courage to fucking do something.
Yep.
Good for him.
Yeah. We need to know that person.
Well, that's what the whole point is
Love
of
it.
you legally having people legally having a gun is that okay? When the police aren't doing their job, or you got people that legally have guns, they should be able to do it. If there's a guy that's snatching up kids or shooting people or shooting up kids,
Even if there's a random person that wants to
too.
go in there, it's your kid, man. Fuck it. If they got the balls to do it and nobody else does, then what the fuck?
Yeah.
You know, somebody make something happen, dude. What the fuck? It's someone. Look, those weren't the only kids in there, and nobody knew what was going, but they knew shots were going off, dude. Everybody should be all in on that motherfucker. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everybody all in. But anyway, there was a bunch of lies. This story's been all over the place, and it's never really sat still at all. So, but I heard something pretty interesting from Professor Wolf. He was talking about advertising, right? So advertising was an interesting side to this that I never really thought about. I never really gave it much thought.
What do you mean?
But basically in capitalism, this is what he says: the system produces what people want to turn in profit. So it uses advertising to enhance its ability to sell more, to make more profits, right? You know, like sex sells and shit like that, hot chicks in front of cars, your favorite celebrity, you know, got a soda can of your favorite soda, whatever. So it's all basically like a game. So basically, if that's the logic, right? If that's the fucking logic, then think about how corporations work in the gun manufacturers, right? So basically, the market for guns, it used to be all hunting. So that's not going to last that long. It's a small market. There's limited people that do hunting. So basically, according to Professor Wolf, they had to solve the same advertising problem. So he quotes, "How do you associate the gun with something else that's larger in numbers of what people want? Because then they'll buy the gun to get whatever the other thing brings to the table, right? So because the gun is not attractive to a lot of people. Lots of people don't like guns. They're scared of guns. A lot of the population doesn't like them. So that's the role of the NRA, is according to Professor Wolf. He says it associates guns with security. It associated guns with being manly and toughness. So Professor Wolf says they took sociological issues and they used them to sell tons of guns. So this clip that I'm about to play right here, Professor Wolf explaining why they had to go about it this way. All right.
And here comes the big one. Because the capitalist economic system was savagely undermining the security, the manliness, and the toughness of particularly, but not only, but particularly adult white men. They were the ones who had the highest salaries. Therefore, in this country, whether their wages or salaries were very high or just high, in capitalism, the more successful a worker is to get higher wages, the greater the incentive for the employer to get rid of the worker, to replace him with a machine, or to move production out of the country, or to bring in a cheaper substitute laborer. When these things really got going, particularly in the 1970s and in the half century since then, what you were doing was attacking the self-concept of white adult males. You were taking away their job security. You were taking away their job. You were taking away their future. You were taking away their capacity to be the provider of the household for the woman, to hold his head up high, to be a tough guy. I get paid what I'm worth, and that's why I get paid well, and that's why I get paid more than other people. All of that was taken away. And the white adult worker was deprived of his security, deprived of his job security, deprived of his income, deprived of his social standing, and he was desperate. And into that desperation comes the gun manufacturer and his advertiser saying, here is a way to recoup your manhood, to recoup your power, to recoup your toughness, have a gun. And not just have it, work really hard to get the right to carry it in the open, where everyone can see what a tough guy you are, possessed of this deadly weapon. And, that's what advertisers do. Their job is not to investigate the morality or not. Their job is to sell whatever it is their client manufactures, and they figured out how to attach gun purchase to a desperate need of a whole segment of the population, a need that could not be, they can't get a good job. They're not available anymore. They can't get an adequate income. It's not available anymore. But they can go to the nearby Walmart and buy as many guns as they can fit into whatever cabinet they keep them in, and make themselves feel as though there's something that they have. There's something where they're still able to express what has been taken away from them. So for me, I see this as a catastrophic coming together of the profit drive of the gun companies, the advertising industry, and the catastrophe for adult white workers that the last 50 years has created. By the way, that's the same reason why you get things like the replacement theory that everyone's talking about, the imaginary QAnon conspiracy that's taking away from me, the white adult, perhaps also Christian worker, all that I was, in order to replace me with a Chinese worker or a Latin American immigrant or whoever it is that their particular conspiracy is going to replace them with. Look, the very word, I'm being replaced, I'm being pushed away, and I want to get it back, and I won't have that taken from me. I have now found a way to fix my problem, keep out the immigrant, buy the gun. And, against that, you'd have to have a very sophisticated, self-conscious politics to offer these people an alternative way to understand what happened to them and to deal with it. And the left could do that. The left could say, you're not the victim of a poor immigrant from Latin America, and you're not the victim of the Chinese. You're the victim of a system that puts profit number one and works in the way. And we could tell them that story, and then the conclusion would be, you need a different system, not an ersatz solution, because all the gun is going to get you is what we saw in Texas.
What's that guy's name?
That Professor Wolf. That motherfucker's, he knows his shit.
And you think that is in direct correlation to this kid shooting those kids?
I think that the advertising does, absolutely, dude. I mean, that's what advertising is there for, right? It's just another form of propaganda. So that way, look at the bumper stickers, look at the window stickers. How many gun stickers do you see? How many times you see the memes?
But this is what I mean. I'm saying, I don't see what he was saying in correlation to a solution. Like, he's just kind of rambling at.
Oh, he's a hardcore socialist. He's like, this is what you get in your
I'm saying,
capitalist
how does
society.
how does this prevent the next shooting? How does this have?
Well, wars.
what the fuck does this have to do with them kids getting shot? Really?
He's just talking about
advertising the guns you're talking
No, I'm
about?
saying like that kid didn't feel
Well,
like
the Sandy Hook, all the people for that, they just got a big payout from Remington because of the advertising that Remington did.
There you go.
Like I think it was pretty substantial.
So that's a mission of guilt right there. I mean, it's our culture, dude. And what he was saying was that the years of just making basic wages and getting your manhood stripped from you, and then the propaganda, these people telling you that Chinese people, immigrants, they're all your problems. They're coming to get you. They're going to take over.
So you're saying that's why people want guns?
No, it's one of the ways to get your toughness and your manhood back and shit like that. And it does play a role, man. Propaganda is exactly that. Like, social societies, dude, don't have as much crime because it's not about profit. When you have inequality the way it does,
I get that,
it
but I'm
breeds
saying
poverty. And
what demographic is his point being like even?
Well, he's saying capitalist. He's all out anti-capitalist dude, man. So he's telling you basically the reason you got what you got is because you got the system that you got. So within that system,
you know what capitalism is?
So people run up on little kids' elementary schools and shoot them up because he didn't feel like he had his manhood, or it was...
Well, he made a good point.
Is that what you're saying?
He made a good point about the greatest.
I'm fucking lost.
He made a good point about the Great Replacement. I mean, that's a great example of Fred Hampton saying they use racism as racism is just a byproduct of capitalism. And so
I don't think capitalism has anything to do with those kids being shot, is what I'm saying.
Right. I agree. That was
if we didn't live in a capitalist society,
kind of a reach. It kind of sounds like.
Oh,
that
okay.
guy
Well, I'll
is
give you
a
an
part
example
the
of why it
problem,
is.
too.
I'll give you an example of why it is. Okay. Think about the laws. How I just saw a meme. It was a meme of a sign that said, "We will never create enough laws to control evil. Evil does not obey laws."
Yeah.
Okay. That sign is propaganda. You
No.
know why? Because it doesn't keep you thinking. All it makes you think is, I need to go buy a gun right now. If I don't buy a gun, I'm not going to be protected. And you don't even think about it because you go, that's damn right. Laws can't control evil. Well, let me give you one. Okay. If we just took the 30-day thing and say, hey, man, you need a 30-day background check. You got to get 3 references. If his grandma that he shot in the face, if she were to say, hey, no, he doesn't deserve a gun. Okay, maybe he could still go get one off the street, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but at least he's on file now, and the cops could follow up his activity and say, all right, here's a kid that just registered for a gun. His grandma denied him. They said, hell no, this kid doesn't need an assault weapon or whatever it was. And then you could at least have it. So what my point is, one little law. That's just one law right there.
What's that have to do with that?
It might have saved this person. Well, because these people don't make laws, because when you have a law, right, and then you put the law, let's say that law did come into play. Let's say the Democrats do their job and actually put that law into play. Okay, so now there's a 30-day wait on the grace period, right? They got to do checks. Not only is that going to delay every person that wants a gun 30 days, but it's going to make a lot of people not be able to get the gun. So that's less money. So that's going to drive the profits down. We are living in a for-profit capitalist system. So that's exactly what he's explaining. He's saying, dude, it all stems from this bullshit system that we are in. And that is why you have, look, there's no such thing as utopia. We're not going to be sitting here in a fucking perfect society with nothing happening. But this, the way you sell for profit and have to push and get the NRA to do the things that they do, it very much is the system. And that's what people don't understand. You could talk about it. And that's the sad thing is that's where the political theater thing we were talking about before the show. Like, me and you could care about this. Stack could care about this. We could be like, dude, he's worried about his little daughter going to school. We could care about this all we want, but until they give a fuck and stop serving the corporate donors and the fucking special interests and actually start getting some legislation passed that's worth the fuck, that's not going to be for the profit of the donors, then we're fucked, dude. It is all political theater, but that's why we only have 2 parties. That's why we'll never have a third fucking party. And the show goes on. And when you look at it from the capitalism tree, you'll see that every branch of our society goes to that. It's a money tree. It's fucked up, man. It's totally fucked up. But
can you grow those?
can you grow those? But yeah, man, I thought I gave that some thought, and I'm just and here's another thing, man. You know, they use mental illness to continue to fearmonger about shit. But think about this. Think about all the millions of people in this country that are mentally ill that don't kill people. It's all right. We'll go back to that. But think about all the millions of people that are mentally ill in America that don't kill people.
Yeah.
That's what percentage are we dealing with now when you flip it like that?
Myself included. But that's a yet,
Well, I mean,
Oh, we're done then, right?
no, not yet. Let me. Yeah. Fuck it. We'll just say fucking bye. That's actually a good idea. And one more thing I wanted to say because somebody said
What was that?
Camera went up.
the camera went out right there. It's just my camera. But one more thing I wanted to say before I get out of here was when we were talking about that. Somebody said on there basically just it's all evil. So throw as many guns as you can out there to protect. You got to line them up with line up the schools and make sure nobody could get in there. And the whole thing was like, yo, if throwing more guns at the situation was the solution, America would be the safest place on earth. So that's as simple as that. But anyway, dude, I guess my camera's froze, so we're going to get the fuck out of here. Cody.
Alrighty.
All right.
Thanks for coming in, brother.
Thanks for having me.
But hey, we'll see you next time.